This is the second part of our data analytics series. In this video we will learn how to select rows and columns based on given condition. And sometimes we also need to deal with some none values in our data frame. So we will learn how to clean these none values or fill these none values in order to make it a meaningful data. So watch till the end. To learn about conditional selection, we will make a data frame same as we did in the last video. First we will create a list of index label, then list of column names and the NumPy array of random integers. Then we will create a data frame with data, index and column names. We are ready with our data frame. One of the most important feature of Pandas is the ability of conditional selection just by using conditional operator inside square brackets. For example, if you write df greater than 50, then it will return a boolean data frame. So when the value is greater than 50, it returns true, and if the value is less than 50, it returns false. And if you write this condition inside the square bracket by calling the actual data frame, then you will get the values where the condition is satisfied and none where the condition is false. But this type of conditional selection is very uncommon and not really used in data analysis. So instead of passing the entire data frame for conditional selection, we use a single column. So if you perform conditional selection on a column of data frame, then you will get a series of booleans. And now if you pass this condition inside the square bracket by calling the actual data frame, then you will get the data frame with the filtered rows where the value of column A is greater than or equal to 50. So performing such type of conditional selection based on columns will no more give you those none values. And we can also select a specific column from this new data frame in the same way we did in the last video by passing the column name inside the square bracket. And if you want to look at multiple columns at once, then simply pass the list of columns inside the square brackets. So now we learn how to select rows from data frame based on condition. But what if there are more than one condition? If you have watched my Python video, then you might think that we will write those conditions separated by AND operator like this. But in case of data frame, it is going to give you an error. The error message says that the truth value of series is ambiguous because this type of selection returns a series of booleans, not a single boolean value. Hence, AND operator get confused and gives the ambiguity error. So to deal with such problem, we have ampersand operator. This ampersand operator is capable of performing AND operation on series of booleans and hence it will not throw any error. So as a result, it has returned the only row where both the condition is true. So to confirm this, if you look at the data frame, you will find that only value of row with the index 3 satisfied both the condition. And if you want to perform OR operation between two conditions, then you use this pipe operator. Else if you use the OR keyword itself, then you will get the same ambiguity error. Now we will learn how to deal with missing values in the data frame. Missing values basically means the null or none value which we saw just few minutes back. So let's store that data frame in a new variable. To remove none value from data frame, we have a method called dropNA. This method will remove all the rows which contains at least one none value. So you can see that only row 3 doesn't contain any none value and rest of the row has been dropped because it has none value in it. And if you want to remove columns with none values, then set the axis equals to 1. This dropNA method also takes an optional argument called threshold. This thresh argument takes an integer that basically means it requires at least that many non-NA values in that row or column to not get dropped. So if I set the thresh equals to 3, then it will not drop those rows which doesn't have at least 3 non-NA values. So we learned how to drop a row or column if it has none value. Now we will learn how to fill these none values. To fill the none values, we have fillNA method. This fillNA method takes few arguments where you can pass the value by which you want to fill those none values. So now you can see that all the none values has been filled with value 10. And if you want to fill these none values of specific column by mean of that column, then apply this fillNA method by selecting that column and then set the value to be the mean of that column by using mean method on it. And do not forget that all these changes are temporary because we haven't set the in place arguments to be true. So if I check the data frame itself, you will see that no changes has been made to our actual data frame. So if you want these changes to be saved with the actual data frame, then set the in place arguments equals true. We have to deal with none values many times when we will start working with actual dataset in the next video. We will also learn about group by methods and data manipulation techniques. So if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, then do subscribe it and hit the bell icon. And if my videos are upgrading your knowledge, then don't forget to like it.